on the committee that wouldn't be eligible to lead the pledge since so many
That's not my definition of
the last Republican president gets sworn in absent Democrat objectors was George Herbert Walker Bush.
Claiming my time is Gaetz, I will allow the chairman to determine whether or not someone has participated in insurrection in the United States. I think this language is important.
Would the gentleman further yield?
I'm asking Mr. Gaetz, will you now accept the amendment?
Well, I'm concerned that you may be disqualifying too many of your own members, Mr. Sicilian.
I'm not concerned about that at all. Then agree to the amendment. Let's make this real. If you want to give someone the right to stand before the House Judiciary Committee and lead the Pledge of Allegiance, at a bare minimum, let's guarantee that that person has not participated or supported or in any way helped an overthrow of the government of the United States.
Do you remember that exchange? Well, it turns out that they should have been worried about something else other than insurrectionists leading the Pledge of Allegiance. There's been so many hearings, and buried in this House Judiciary Committee hearing where they're just kind of setting up the rules for which they're going to operate, was a juicy nugget. Listen to this.
Oh, we caught the bad guys, but they can't do that. It's just anything to own Biden, to own the Democrats. And I'm sorry if we don't just rubber stamp this oversight plan, but there's a trust deficit here. And it's not a reflex, it's a response. There's a trust deficit here. And one of the very first committee hearing of this Congress, Mr. Gaetz, after we all agreed on what the committee's plan was going to be, it was going to be voice voted, everyone agreed, Mr. Gaetz wanted to offer an amendment to say the Pledge of Allegiance. That's great. Every single person on our side supported that. Now, I don't think he really genuinely cares about saying the Pledge of Allegiance, but he wanted to do it, again, to own the libs and to see if we would vote against it. We didn't. But who did he bring in here to say the Pledge of Allegiance? Who did he parade in here in a uniform? Somebody that he met at a gun club, he said, locally. Okay, Mr. Sicilian had a crazy idea that maybe we should vet the people who come in here, make sure they're not insurrectionists. Mr. McClintock, I am not kidding you. Mr. McClintock said, well, it's not like we're going to invite somebody who committed murder. No, he literally said that. It's not like we're going to invite somebody who committed murder. Okay, well, who did Mr. Gaetz bring? He brought Corey Beekman. Corey Beekman, in 2019, was in a standoff with the Michigan police after he was arrested and charged with murder, assault with intent to commit murder, and 2 counts of felony firearm possession. The family of the victims said Mr. Gaetz doing that, it was like getting a dagger stuck in our heart again. Who did Mr. Gaetz bring? He brought Corey Beekman. Corey Beekman, in 2019, was in a standoff with the Michigan police after he was arrested and charged with murder.
I played that twice so you could let it sink in, and you heard it right. Matt Gaetz actually brought in some rando murderer who he met at a gun club from none other than the Michigan militia kind of crowd. And this gets into the whole issue where Congress isn't seeming like a very safe place to work, with Lauren Boebert removing the metal detectors and Kevin McCarthy allowing people to carry guns in there. And now we got Matt Gaetz inviting rando murderers who he met at the gun club, all while Trump issues ominous threats. There you go. There's the kind of people you bring in from the Groomer Gun Club.